Hey family. So where's the cameras right there? So it's late at night and I just thought I'd come in and do a quick video and tell you there's a lot going on with President Trump's decision and what he's about to do. That's going to affect all of us, specifically California. Because I want to talk about how we as an American people, we as African American people, shout out to my people, have to realize if we don't have a plan of action, someone's going to plan one out for you. Many of you guys don't have a plan of action. And life in California is like this. It's like a frog in a pot that you turn on with a slow warming heat. You think you can manage, you think you can handle, and you're good. But it goes from simmer to low to medium to high to boiling. And by that time, you are so caught up in the matrix. And if you get boiled in the pot, that means you can become homeless. That means you become destitute. That means you have no money. You have no money. And you have no plan of action. I'm trying to get a better light. I think that's better. You have no plan of action for what you really want to do to make changes in your own personal life. So I want to give you words of encouragement. Make sure you sit back and you have a plan of action of what you want to accomplish this year. And if you're just kind of going with the flow, you can't do that. You need to be preparing yourself for whatever these strange times that we live in. For every action is a reaction. For every non-action of your reaction is the aftermath. And we're all living aftermaths of our lives that we're not making a due diligence to say, hey, I really want to do better in 2019. And I mean, just don't tell me about you want to lose weight. Just don't tell me about you want to make more money. Those are like standard things we all want to do every year, right? I think that you need to have more. I think you need to think of how can I be a contribution? How can I collaborate? How can I consolidate? How can I barter with somebody on some trades of goods and service? How can I learn something new that I don't know? Have I picked up a new book to read? I mean, you really have to kind of look from a bigger perspective of what are your dreams and what you want to be. Because see, if you don't have any aspirations, other people are going to be looking for an inspiration. You're looking for an inspiration. Well, you're being reactive. You're not being proactive. So California is a state. Hi, Mike. Always ready. Thank you for coming in. God bless you guys for shining in. I appreciate that. Hello, beautiful. Thank you. I just really have great concerns about what's going on. I did not clean this damn screen. Let me see if that helps. Sorry about this. Real people, hold on, hang in there with me. Did it help? Did it help? Maybe it did. I think it's interesting that people in California, especially Black Americans, don't realize because we're only down to 6% blacks. They're going to be showing blacks probably on TV. They're all in California. These blacks in California don't support Trump. They just don't. We have a percentage of blacks that support Trump. But the ones that I don't understand are the brainwashed Negroes that support illegal immigrants and immigrants. So you got black people homeless in a tent that want to help immigrants, that are willing to give up their space because legalized immigrants come here, buy up real estate. Listen to me. Pay attention. Put thumbs up if you like what I'm saying. If you think what I'm saying adds value to your life and makes sense to share with your friends this video. Legalized immigrants are renting to illegal immigrants and refugees because African Americans and American people are not priority. So I don't understand why we're not priority to our own selves. Can somebody give me some comments in the chat room? I mean, I really need to talk to somebody to help me have a clarification of why we are not priority to our own selves. We put everybody else priority, but we don't put the American people. So y'all keep listening to Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi is an idiot. This is an idiot state that I was born and raised in at this point because they're making us more Americans destitute to the system that is basically pushing out the middle class and the upper wealth. They're leaving the state and they're suppressing the American people more with the fact that they're coming on board and they're saying that we need to pay for more taxes and things of that nature. Like somebody walking around from my house, walking up. Going for a walk. So anyway, I think that's kind of interesting. What's your comments on that one? Because they don't give a damn. You know what? No, I think because they do give a damn to make more money off of us. They got an agenda. Because why would you pander towards the pain of good American people and then put these other foreigners first? I mean, think about it. These foreigners abandoned their countrymen. They left where they're coming from for stuff here. The best person that I support was Ron Paul. Ron Paul, God bless Ron Paul and the damn libertarians. You know what Ron Paul said on the news like 2 weeks ago? He said, forget the wall. Ron Paul said what you need to do is cut their benefits. Don't pay their insurance, don't pay their schools, don't pay their health bills, don't give them housing, send them back. Don't pander to their pain. Instead, take care of your own people first, because if you cut them back, you'll be good. There's a school out in the city of Palmdale. At Christmas time, they did not even have an English play. I went to the city council meeting in Huntington Park. Do y'all remember what I told you? They made me wear headsets. They told me, you don't speak English? Spanish? I said, no, I don't speak Spanish. They said, you need to put some headsets on. Stomp down. What you said, black people are doing all they can to do to help illegals along with the black churches. So this is what I'm talking about. If this ain't a sign that these are the end times, I don't know what is. That's a lie from the devil that you're going to play with people of their foolishness. These ain't good people. These are people who are lazy and came over a border and claim they need help and don't want to work for a living. But yet you've got people who they come and they steal your skill sets, take up your space, and it's like the invasion of the body snatchers. That's what black people are dealing with right now. People who used to be employing African Americans in California, they don't employ us. They employ them. Or black people who have businesses, we are so kind, we open up our hearts, you guys know this is true, and we hire and we take people in, and in return, they bite us in the ass. And we ain't nothing but little frogs in a pot, and the water's turning up, and they want to tax our gases, and they want to legalize squatting, and they want to have open heroin shooting, and they want to continue to bring more weed in. Black people love their weed, so let me turn on so my phone don't die. They want to continue to promote the weed issue. I mean, what does that all get us? When we talk about the economic opportunities that are before us, I've talked to you guys about LLCs and S Corporation. I've told you about Urban Business Institute, how they're funding our people for business, beauty salons, and businesses. Why are we as African American people not talking about entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship that is going to shift us in a way where we talk about tangible and intangible goods. If you focus on tangible and intangible goods, then those are opportunities. Mike says illegal migrants have destroyed the black communities. Strikes is a result of overcrowding classes because of illegals. Absolutely. You know, in California, Mike, they do half English and half Spanish. What the hell are you going to be teaching a class half English and half Spanish? Toby said, yes, ma'am. How are you going to do that? So then you have these so-called leaders like Stump says. You got Al Sharpton, you got Stacy, you got Camilla wannabe Black Harris. All these people who are part of the Black Caucus who don't care for black people. Their name doesn't support what their mission statement is today. What are we going to do? As descendants of slaves, we need to make a decision to let people know that they don't deserve the rights of the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment. I heard that Michelle Alexander, she done turned her coat. She's talking about, she's not even supporting the DOS notion that we talk about. We're all paid off. There's a lot of black and Democrats and Republicans, it's questionable, that don't want to align themselves with the way the Constitution is supposed to support. Makes no sense. Always Ready says, make their families pay for their mother and father medical care. The elderly immigrants have worked one day in this country, haven't worked in one day in this country and collect Social Security and welfare benefits. Well, according to Nancy Pelosi, those people have rights, have more rights than you do in a homeless white and black people downtown LA, downtown Chicago, Detroit, New York, where the hell you're living. Those people have more rights than you do. But y'all get mad about Trump talking about build this wall. This wall is 1/10 of 1% of the budget. And they're making it such a show, as such a circus, that they will not fund things that are going to better the American people's lives. Come on, people. We need to wake up. But as African American people, I really believe that we need to have more conversations. I'm looking forward to comments in the comment section. I read your comments. I may not check in and make comments afterwards because my plate is full, but I appreciate your comments. I appreciate you sharing this video, getting a thumbs up and sharing it, because being Black in California is not easy. We are frogs in a pot. They are turning the heat up, and we're popping out and popping in. I just came back from Texas. Texas is $1.70 a gallon. California is $3.89 a gallon. Okay? Texas has breakfast for $5.99. Breakfast in California is $13.99. A gallon of milk could be $1, $1.20, $1.30. You know what it is in California? $5 a gallon. The cost of living is not a reality of a life that we all need to be having. But what people do is they say, well, it's okay. I'll just pay the higher price. I'll work extra jobs or whatever. If I got to go over to the east side of town, I have to plan in the sense of saying, what are the 4 things I need to get done? Because I can't afford to drive, come back at no $3.98 or whatever, almost $4 a gallon. I can't afford that. And most American people can't afford that either. We're all either one paycheck away from not being one of them homeless people downtown LA. So if we're going to have these conversations and share these videos and say, oh, I support it, I agree. Agreeing ain't going to cut it no more, people. I had dinner with Yvette Cornell just now. I didn't take any pictures, but I had dinner with Yvette. And Yvette and I were talking about the state of Black America and where it is and what's the next level we need to do, because we are communicating. We're getting our message out about the descendants of slaves, but what we're not doing is finding a form of execution to rally the troops. It is time that we rally to each other now and stop being inclusive, diversified minority people. Because if we're inclusive, diversified minority individuals, then everyone gets the benefits off of it. Everybody else has civil rights. We get the crumbs and the leftovers, but they'll make it very clear, oh, I'm African, I'm Indian, I'm Mexican, I'm Chinese. But what about the descendants of slaves that have been in America for 400 years? This is my home. This is my people. This town, the state of being in California, it's traumatic for me to see. It's traumatic for me to drive up and down the streets. You don't understand. And see these 10 people that I can't help. You can't help. Fleas that are on their dogs, fleas that are popping off their body. I'm not making this up. Hypodermic needles that can easily be stuck in your foot. I'm not making this up. Open squatting is legal in California. You can poop in the street and it's legal. You know, you're pushing our state, these legislators, Nancy Pelosi, Karen Bass, Kamala wannabe Black Harris, and Maxine Waters, they're pushing our state into a plague situation. Come on now, y'all agree with me on that. Put your thumbs up and share this video. Please put the thumbs up and start liking. It gets more of us to be able to have these conversations of a plague and a health and sanitation scenario that is spreading in California that could spread to your state. You too could get somebody who came and visit and go back like those men in Utah. They had 3 men that came from Utah. One went back with hepatitis A because the other 2 had shots. Now you tell me, does that make any sense? Mike says, bring the illegals to Nancy's home and see how she feels. That's what I said. Drop them all off in front of there. You know, go pick them up and drop them off and say, hey, sit right here. This is your new home. Why don't you go ahead and claim your what's that thing? They claim, you know, I want asylum. Asylum. I want to be here. You know, Nancy Pelosi is aiding and abetting, and she's committing treason. She's aiding and abetting, listen, and committing treason against the American people. But you just keep talking about Trump, fuck Trump, Trump. This is not about Trump. This is about the safety, the sanity, and the health of the American people behind the wall, not the people trying to get in. Toby said Black people do need to have more money talks. Yeah, better get serious and get quick. Okay, come on now, get serious and get it quick. Because the bottom line is you guys are not preparing for the oil in your lamp. You need to be prepared. You need to position yourself where you say, you know, it doesn't matter if the market does good or it does bad, because you need to be recession proof. You done heard the information man say that. He said that on Thought Crimes. Y'all watching Thought Crimes, shout out to them. You people need to be prepared. If you're not prepared, you are going to be just like the other rest of us, a frog in a cooking pot simmering. And then when it gets really, really hot and you can't handle it and you pop out, you ain't got nothing on your back but the homeless opportunities that an illegal immigrant took your rights away and you passed it along and let it happen. Always says, let them fight themselves and have our own problems. We have our own problems. Let them fight for themselves. We have our own problems. That would be great, but they can't, because we have taken them on as the stepchild. Oh, if we don't speak up for them, they're going to come after us. Well, come after you how? They're already coming after us. We already got 3 strikes against us. We already have privatized prisons. We already have all these issues going on. How much more do you want to put on a man when his back down? How much you gonna kick a man when his mini's down? How much can we get kicked down? We're down to the lowest level already. Sorry about that. And yet those people, I'm not saying that those people come here for stuff. They want your stuff. They want your housing. They want your Section 8. They want your EBT cards. They want your stuff. And that's not a good thing. Stump says everyone is talking in San Antonio don't want the people to come from California to move to Texas. Okay, I understand that. Because you know what? I don't understand why the liberals want to move to Texas. And then they want to change the ideology of Texas to California, but they don't want to live in California. That's some idiotic shit, ain't it? Like, why are you going to Texas and you want to be in a liberal state? Well, hell, stay right here. All the liberals and everywhere in the country should move to California. If you're a liberal and you watch this and you hate white people and you hate everything, I mean, and to get these white liberal women who hate white men, those are some crazy cuckoo bird bitches, right? Their daddy is white, but they don't like white men. And they talk about the white man, the white man. I'm like, boo-boo. Do you realize you white and you don't like the white man? I mean, this is what I'm talking about. You guys are supporting these women who are in these organizations, these liberal progressives who pander off of your pain to focus on their agenda, which is not a black agenda. It's just enough so that they can get a little bit off of you and ride off of your back. Where does that add value? Where does that add value? It doesn't. Democrat. And so, Sister B, how you doing? And Van K, thank you for coming in. Vaughn's in. Thank you so much. Always. And Stump Down and Toby and Mike. I appreciate all you guys. Anyway, okay, Sister B says, Democrat Shell. Angela Rye was on the Breakfast Club Power 501 and said, we're all immigrants. Blacks come here in sections. Well, let me say something about Angela Rye. Angela Rye ain't black. Sorry about that. Angela Rye has, I think, 16%, 15% African American in her. She doesn't have, she's like 20-some% European. She doesn't have that much black in her. And when they did, she put herself out on this one. I wouldn't let her do it, and then she didn't let them read the rest of her DNA. 23andMe did a DNA on the girl, and they told the girl, you ain't got that much black in you. She goes, oh. And then they told her she didn't have no Indian, and she says, oh no, I know I got Indian. My mother told me that. They said, we didn't find any Indian in your DNA. She's delusional. She thinks she's Indian, and she thinks she's black. The girl got more European than she has black in her. You got these people coming in, they are so pro-black, they so pro-black. So, you know, you can't deny what you are. I already had my DNA. I'm 90, almost 91% African. So you can look at me and I don't have to guess that one. Angela Rye is not helping our cure. No, we're not immigrants. If you're a descendant of slaves, you came here as commodity. In 1619, the War Dutchman brought 20 Africans via War Dutchman to Virginia. Monroe, Virginia. Look it up. Monroe, Virginia had the landing of the first 20 Africans. They came as commodity. They put them on an auction block, naked, looked up their ass, played with their tits, fondled with them like they're some kind of horse, some kind of dog, some kind of cat, some kind of cattle. That's all you were. Shackled cattle. Shackle means like you were handcuffed with chains on you, and you were put on an auction block. and you didn't immigrate here. You didn't come here and say, oh, this is the land of the free and the milk and the honey, and we deserve so much. No, Negro, no, Negro. You came here because they needed somebody to build this country for servitude and service. They needed slaves. And so they enslaved you and every generation after you of birth. So I was with Mr. Jones's family and I gave birth to my sons with Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones would say, she's my slave and all her children are as well, and their children's children. For 400 years, you were treated like nothing. So to sit back and pander to forget the pain of those people that died so that you can have your right doesn't make any sense. California does not consist of immigrants that are helping black people. These immigrants are replacing you. They're the body snatchers. That's what it's like to be in a pot of boiling water with frogs popping out. I pop out and I pop in. I pop into other states and I come back. I go to DC. I go to Maryland. I pop back. And when I pop back in this hot ass pot with these freaky ass people, I say to myself, God, what did I do? What did I do that I have to live in this state that they don't care about my people? What did I do, God, when you got entertainers, celebrities who pander after black pain, ain't helping black people? They get millions of dollars, hundreds and thousands of dollars per year, and they don't even put something together to try to help black people. Jews help Jews, Indians help Indians, Asians help Asians. But black entertainments, they don't help nobody. They don't help anybody other than saying that they help Trump and hate Trump. It does not add to helping us better. Share the Uncle Tom's voice on, okay, Vaughn was talking about people need to read more of the Uncle Tom. That's an interesting story for sure. Always ready, 24/7 says, she's an islander, she's not black. You know, again, we pander these people who aren't African-American and we empower them, just like the old Candace Owens. She's like, she's no DOS either. Michael says, immigrants is a privilege, not a right. Absolutely. Immigration is a privilege. Immigration is a privilege. It's a privilege that we give that has been abused. It's a privilege that laws need to be rewritten. It's a privilege of asylum. Asylum, when people say, I come to have asylum. That's the word I was trying to think of earlier. With Nancy Pelosi, have asylum in her house. Have asylum in Karen Bass's house. Have asylum in Maxine Waters' house. We need to go in front of their house and say, we want you to claim asylum in the legislators who want you here. Knock on their door, camp out. They want to give you asylum. Let them be in. They got big ass houses and you should go move in. Come on now. Give me some thumbs up on that at least. You have to agree with me on that one. They want these people here so bad, they done forgot about your own. They done forgot about you, and you let them forget. You have let these people come in our country and legislators to put us on the back row. We ain't even on the front row. We ain't even on the row. We ain't even thought about it because we always complain, and they know we're like little dogs with no bite. What about the black people? 3 strikes you out. No bite. We ain't got no bite. You know the bites come. Then let me tell you when the bites come, when action comes into place. But if we had money for good attorneys, that's where the bites come in. If we had monies for good attorneys, the bites would come in. Now let me read some of the more stuff y'all got in here. Okay, so Chris says African Americans are so dumb. They keep voting for Democrats and open the floodgates for illegal immigrants and displace themselves. I would say that too, but I think why? I asked them, why should we help them when you can't help your own people? And then we'll just say, well, we're done. Well, we got to do more than that. We got to do more than walk away and take the red pill. We need legislation. We need to understand our own rights. We need to have conversations without other people in the room and other cultures trying to tell us how to have a conversation with our own people. We don't need all that. We need to sit back and hire some attorneys and put our shit in place. We need our own legislation in place. That's what we need to do, because all this other pandering and kind of going with the flow or taking whatever any administration gives you from previous administration, that has to end. We need to be more reactive and less reactive and proactive. And that's all we are, is reactive, and that don't make no sense. Okay, Sister B says, I had no idea Nancy Pelosi was worth $220 million. Absolutely. It's a crime. Did you know that Nancy Pelosi's nephew is Gavin Newsom, the new governor of California? Yes, honey, her nephew is the governor. Her nephew is the governor. So if you think she's cuckoo for Cocoa Pops, he's got that, honey, them frogs in that pot don't know what kind of heat's about to flare up. He got 2 burners on one pot right now. He can't wait to push some of the stuff that you won't believe that pushes aside African-American people and having these immigrants just sit back bathing in all the free opportunities here in America. All the benefits that should be going to American people to correct our positioning. You know, Section 8 is in place to help your dispositioning. Your disposition, you don't have housing, you don't have any extra money, you need food. Your disposition. It's not in place to help you live an entire generation from generation, because that's what some Americans are doing, nationally, white and black. And now you've got illegal immigrants coercing their people to come here to do the same thing. Makes no sense. Sensible says they have no idea. Wow. Mike says voter fraud is rampant in California. Absolutely. Voter fraud, it was accepted in California. It's a lot of rhinos. Now, you guys say, what is a rhino? A rhino is a Republican who really does not support the constitutional values that a strong conservative right Republican does. These rhinos are compromised with Democrats. They're part of the drain the swamp problem that Trump has been talking about. They've been in office for a long time, and they kind of pander to some of the situations that we're in right now. They're not trying to embetter the American people, and that is a problem. Any more questions you guys got out there? I talked about that. Always came in there. You know, I think that when we look as a whole at the bigger picture of this situation, we need to say, in the end, what are we going to get out of this? Where's my golden ticket? I want a good Willy Wonka bar with a golden ticket. So where's my golden ticket? Because if we don't have a golden ticket and we just take whatever they give us, this is not going to be good for us. Because there are going to be some people that are not going to get anything. If I could create something, I create a thing called blackout. That means that we come into these urban communities of homeless black people and say, you want out? We're going to give you an out card. We're going to pick you up, take you to a mental facility in Mississippi, and we're going to say, you got 2 weeks to do this course. And then you can basically say, you want to get back to California, get on your own merit. But if you stay here, we'll get you a job, we'll get you acclimated right back into American system, and we help you have housing. Because you've got Section 8, look, you got people with Section 8 and senior citizens with retirement, Social Security checks that they can't even have, they don't even make enough money to live in housing. That's what's hard on blacks in California. You got people on Social Security checks that can't even afford to stay here. So they go to the check cashing place. The check cashing place charges 25 to 30%. Some of them. Well, how does that help us as people when you allow immigrants to set up check cashing place in urban communities, raping the black people like a slave, taking 30% of it? So for every $1,000, you're giving $300 away, for those who don't know how to do the math, to an immigrant who has a check cashing place, and you have no place to stay, and you go right back in your tent, and they're hiding your cash, waiting for the next check, living from check to check, from circumstances to a badder circumstance. In the meantime, an immigrant comes over, claims asylum, pushing babies through holes, and we're supposed to have sympathy for that. That's a shame that we do not put our people in a priority situation. Mike said, I can't find a house because of illegal immigrants. No, because they already have signs I've showed you where it says we accept immigrants and refugees. That's who's getting them. And the people who are buying the properties are legalized immigrants. They are the ones housing immigrants and refugees. So if you're an American person, your application is not first on their list. Your application is not number one. And if it says African American, it's going to go way on underneath the bottom. Chris says, I'm an immigrant and a former homeless veteran in Los Angeles. I have Mexican put in a knife in my throat and told me I don't want no nigga word on our block. Okay. They are taking over. Okay. So here's Chris said he's an immigrant, a former homeless veteran, and then the Mexicans are threatening him with knives. I've been told the elderly, they've been pushed out and told them they have to sell their property. The MS-13s are no joke in California. The MS-13s are working in conjunction with the police. I told you they gave them $1.5 million. $1.5 million. And then in Merced, that police officer got killed, but prior to his killing, The new sheriff went to the city council meeting and said, we are going to physically remove ICE police. So as a constituent, how are we protected when you've got the new sheriff of LA County who said at a city council meeting on a video, recorded, we are going to, that means his department is going to physically remove ICE police, and police officers are not protected. The police officers aren't safe here. Forget about the citizens. They got their own inside wars going on, and you might be in a crossfire, honey. So don't get it twisted. If you're sleeping at the wheel and you are not preparing for whatever's about to come down the road, don't come crying on Facebook to all of us and then blaming Trump for that bullshit. Because this state that this country has been on, this road of trauma and a lack of communication and a self-awareness of immigrants being perpetrated over black people have been happening for a long time now, way before Trump, and y'all didn't say anything. You didn't say anything. And Maxine Waters stumped down and said Maxine Waters is still talking about Trump needs to go. Maxine Waters didn't have a plan for black people. He needs to go. Impeach. Come on, lady. Why do we need to impeach him? We ought to impeach your old ass. Her old ass ain't helping. The homelessness absolutely crazy in Miami, the Latins and the Cuban. Look, the homelessness is no joke. The Cuban blacks in downtown LA, and I videotaped them. Y'all can find my videos with these blacks. Those black men who talk in Spanish, they have all white on. They're Cuban. I don't understand why you come from Cuba to California. They lying to you, telling you that it's better and it's worse. And then you talk about the men with the money up at the hill. That's what the guy told me. They're the one that happens to be in this situation. No, you put yourself in that situation because you left your country to come here for the benefits, thinking you're going to get free housing like the rest they tell you. Y'all got them letters and information they passing out to their own people about housing, about free money, about free stuff that they can acquire in this country. And that doesn't help us. It doesn't. So I just want to say this to you. I thank you for watching and sharing my video. I thank you for listening to the words that I've tried to tell you. California is on the verge of a civil war I've never thought I would ever see. Some of the stuff is predictable. Some of it, I've asked God to give me a better discernment on it. All I can tell you is the hypodermic needles and the pooping and the squatting ain't going away. It's gotten worse. Homelessness in the tent has gotten worse. It's not getting better. And the African-American people who are sleeping in the wheel and supporting illegal immigrants, especially entertainers, are stupid. African-Americans entertainers in California are stupid people because they don't want to speak for Trump and they don't want to speak out against illegal immigrants, but they're not even speaking up for their own people. Hell, if you don't want to do any other stuff, can you speak up for black people who are homeless downtown LA? Can you do a fundraiser and start trying to get your people out of the state? Can any of you damn entertainers and celebrities and political pundits who hate Trump, can you at least do something like that? Can you execute or implement some kind of ideas and action? Doggone it. I'm sick of how you guys are always online, always on talk shows, on radio shows, CNN, MSNBC, H&L, and you have yet said, look, this is what we're doing to help specifically the African-American, the descendant of slaves. But instead, you rather pander to black pain and talk about how you hate Trump, and you ain't got no plan of action. Look, I get it. We're living in times where people have a lot of uncertainty. But if you are watching this video, you need to stop right now, grab a piece of paper, and write the pros and cons in your life. And you need to write out what the hell you're going to do if this happens. You need to have a plan A and B for every situation of a reaction. You may not have a job tomorrow. Oh, what am I going to do? A family member might be burnt out. My friend's family, she had 3 family members have houses burnt down at Paradise, this Paradise family. I was like, oh my God. Lucky one of the other family members who moved out of California, they're very wealthy. But they had 3 family members that got burnt out of that last fire. How you know some family member that you know might be in a fire or a destitute situation and they have to move in with you because you're not prepared. You're not prepared. So I'm not saying you have to prepare for other family members, but if you can't be doggone to do it. but at least get yourself together. Have some type of plan of action so that you can have some type of form of execution, or you'll be that pot of that frog in California, and that pot cooking. Next thing you laying back in the sauna thinking you good, and you never wake up. You know why? Because you died. You caught hepatitis A. You got typhus. You got bed bugs all eating your skin up, and you had to be hospitalized. Or you end up dead, meaning that you end up in the streets homeless. You're dead to a lifestyle of comfort, of a roof over your head and a nice blanket to be on. You are one paycheck away from that, and you need to sit back and say, what is the plan of action I need to have in place to execute? And you don't need to discuss everything with everybody. Don't tell everybody your business. It ain't worth it, because you're going to have haters out there, and they're going to hate you. And they're going to give you their opinion, and them Negroes ain't got a pot to piss in. I hate people who give me advice and never went through the trial and tribulation, never has a vision, but they quick to correct your vision when you know it's yours. Own your vision, own your space, and make it happen. But don't be discouraged. Listen to me. Share this video and give me some thumbs up, and I appreciate that. Be encouraged, because there's opportunities out there. Urban Game Changers. Go to Urban Game Changers and join Urban Game Changers. Become part of the Urban Game Changers family. We're having conversations. I'm going to be in Maryland next month, and we're going to plan an event, and we're going to be talking. So our Maryland event will be coming up. I think it's going to be Harbor National in that area, so get ready. We're going to be at CPAC. We're going to be talking about urban and community engagement. But unless we have more than just conversations, we have to have action. And honestly, we need money. We need money. We need money for our own businesses and everything that's going on. Michael says, Trump has let me down. Really, 3 years of the doc promising that he keep to build a wall. I understand what you're saying. He keeps breaking it down. You know, I totally agree with you, Michael, because I'm going to tell you this. I don't understand, when you got elected for office, President Trump, you should immediately build that wall. Now you don't have the House. Now we're 2 years in, and we're demanding and we're forcing government to act accordingly, and we're going to probably do a state of emergency, because he ain't going to put up with this much longer. Get ready for Trump to announce the state of emergency if he hasn't already done it. Because when he does that, then we're going to get this wall built, either people like it or not. Because the fact that you guys are a liberal on the other side and want to pander to that makes no sense. He's wasted a lot of time, and the DACA is a hot mess. I agree with that. DACA is a hot mess. The UN's a hot mess. NACA is a hot mess. It's a lot of things that are out there that are not helping the American people. Import, export of helping these other countries. They're not any good. It has been disappointing, and he's been weak on his voice. The fact that he didn't mention the voter fraud, he really should have, Michael. He should have put something involved for the voter fraud. DACA is CACA. I heard that. That's what Vaughn says, and Sister B Mike says she totally agrees with you as well. It's very disheartening. It's very disgraceful. It's just really sad. Chris says, I'm a man that can save and redeem the Black American community. I think we all can make a contribution to save our people by having an execution plan of action. That's why we created Urban Game Changers, so that we can start documenting and put a group of people together to have conversations of action. If we had more entrepreneurs, if we had more people with S corporations and LLCs that understand OPM money, that when we get in a situation where in court, we can pay for our own attorneys. These people can get themselves out of situations because they've got attorneys. Why don't we have attorneys? We don't talk about that. We've got bail bondsmen, but we don't have no damn attorneys. So we should have pocket attorneys like everybody else. We need to have monies allocated to deal with the corrupt injustice system that track us and pander after us with the 3 strikes you're outlaw and making us homeless, destitute, and have records. I've seen police officers writing homeless people tickets for no just reason, because they want to get 3 strikes on these Black people to take them and incarcerate them. It's a racket. This is the state of a racket for California. Look up my videos and you'll see this dog barking. Watch how those police officers are writing this man a check because they're trying to reach those numbers. And the tall Black man is the biggest target in California. Are you going to, I'm going to CPAC, Vaughn. I will be at CPAC. And And we will be speaking outside of CPAC. CPAC has not asked me to speak. Mike says Trump should have done the wall when Trump should have done the wall when he got immediately in office. He should have made Congress and that whole cabinet not do nothing but sign and fund that damn wall and just make it hell for him. He should have made that right at the beginning. I agree with that, but he didn't. And then Chris says, give me the power, I'll make Donald Trump look like he's playing Sunday school. Okay. Chris has his own little power agenda. Look, the bottom line is that as African-American people, don't be that frog in the pot boiling. Realize you've gotten comfortable, complacent, and content in your life. You may say, I really don't care left or right about illegal immigrants. They don't affect me. That's because you're not on the southern part of the border. It's coming to you. They're taking your jobs. They're learning your skills and your craft, and you are going to be replaced. And if you don't think so, then wake up and start smelling somebody's coffee. You might want to smell your own. So anyway, I appreciate you guys so much. And yeah, I'm just sitting in the car. It's late. I've been driving. And I wanted to talk about this issue because this is a major issue going on in our country, and we need to do something. We need to do something. See, my son is giving me see he wants to be seen on camera. Say hello. Yes, I see. They see you now. Anyway, that's my son. Anyway, we're visiting over at some friend's house tonight, and we're having a little get together. So anyway, out here in LA. But anyway, and it's late, and we've all talking, so I had to come out and get a break because you know, politics gets heated, and after a while, I just get burned out. I'm like, there's nothing more I can tell you. Common sense got to kick in, and everybody ain't got it. Make sure you guys put your thumbs up, say what you like. Continue to have these conversations after I turn off this video. But I want to talk about, are you that frog in the pot that's going to sit back and get cooked? Are you going to pop out and pop back in? Or you going to pop out? Or are you going to sit there and get cooked up, and then you be homeless? I mean, you might be that person. Because if you make that conscious decision, you ain't helping your family members. Remember what I told you. Consolidate, collaborate, barter with your family members. Have a communication. Write down things that are good, that make sense to you. Speak life to yourself. Don't speak death. Stop talking about all the damn negative. Some things you need to just shut up. Just shut up. Shut up. Shut up and speak life to yourself. Stop telling everybody all your business. Everybody don't need to know what you do, how you wash between your legs. Everybody don't need to know all that. What kind of deodorant you use. Everybody don't need to know all that. You need to stay focused on your agenda. Be strong. Be strong. Be strong for yourself and some other people. You got a lot of weak-minded people. Be the stronger mind. Be the smarter person at the table. But silence is power sometimes. And sometimes when we realize we're in a situation like in California, I've got to have a plan B. Now, people may not like my plan, but it ain't about them liking my plan. It's a sanity that I've got to have to better my life and my children's life. And I would say the same to you. Be ready, because the times are turning, and you might be that frog that one day ain't going to wake up, just fell asleep and got cooked away in a hot boiling pot. All right. I love y'all. Stay peace. Share this video, like this video, and keep following me on Facebook and Twitter. Please join Urban Game Changers, and I'll see you.